Greetings humans, Spinning Mantis here with another game review. We're talking about the best games of 2015, 2016, and 2017, and this one is called Inside. It is a indie platformer, very somewhat similar to this studio's previous game, which was called Limbo, which involved a little kid getting killed in a lot of very gruesome ways, and it was all done in silhouette style. Well, this is from the same studio. Very cool, very interesting sort of puzzle platformer. Highly recommend this. You should be able to pick it up for probably under $10 at this point. I rated this very high across the board, but not super high on a lot of things, because you can see the graphics here. It's very stylized. It's not super graphically intensive, but I give it an 8 for graphics because the art direction is so good and it really sets the scene very, very well. So you're this little kid, and this is the start here, you can see, and you don't know why, but you're escaping and you're trying to avoid all these creeps. And there are all sorts of creeps in this game that you have to avoid. And later there's some machine creeps also, as well as human creeps. But there's a lot of object manipulation puzzles for you to enter new areas. No fighting, actually, but there are enemies you have to avoid and stealth past and jump past and platform past. And I put for the gameplay 8 out of 10 because, again, it's not reinventing the wheel here. You've done many of these things before in a platformer. So, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it works well, it feels good, and the gameplay is, feels the way that it should. I also gave the game an 8 as far as story goes. There's no dialogue. You will not have the full story explained, but the story that is there is actually one of the best stories of the year. It's pretty simple, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but a lot can be told and shown just through sort of the actions and interactions that take place in the game. So as you can see, like, you're this kid, you're running through this dark forest, you're getting away from creepy people. The whole game you are sort of on the edge of your seat, and the way the story unfolds wordlessly works out perfectly. So I can't give it higher than an 8 on story because there is no dialogue. There isn't like as much development as there might be in other games, like a game like The Witcher or something. There's so many lines of dialogue. You have to give that more credit. But for being a wordless game, the story in this is actually pretty darn cool and sort of worth the ride. And I give the highest rating on this one for fun. I give it a 9 out of 10, and that's the thing. You will have a great time playing this game. I didn't think any of the puzzles were too hard. There was like maybe 1 or 2 sections of platforming that presented a little bit of trouble to me. But it is mildly challenging as far as the platforming and puzzling goes. It's not crazy difficult. Oh boy. See, like these dogs start coming after you. It involves a lot of running, and just getting away and escaping. But there are puzzles later. But it is very fun to play. You will be on the edge of your seat, and if you just give it enough time, like, the story will start to unfold, and it will be pretty darn cool. It's certainly worth whatever the cost of this is these days. I don't know how much it was originally. If it was $20 originally, I have to figure it's $10 or less now. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. So the overall score on this one is going to be an 8.25 out of 10, which is, in my top 10 games of those past 3 years. Definitely worth every penny And there's just so many wow moments in this game. That's what you play this game for. It's maybe 6 hours at the most, 4 hours at the least. You can beat it in one sitting, actually, but it is worth every moment of it. So I highly recommend this game. Give it an 8.25 out of 10. Oh, this poor kid. He just can't get away. He keeps getting shot by the dart. Anyway, that is going to be it for this game review. I do hope you join me next week. I'm going to try to be putting one of these out every week for the foreseeable future. Oh man, the poor little faceless kid getting shot again. So do tune in next week for another one of these game reviews. And again, go ahead and check out Inside. Well worth your time. And, watch some of the Let's Plays of it that I have up on the channel. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Spinning Mantis out. Namaste.